is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verses 15 to 20. Moses spoke to all the people, saying, A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up for you from among your own kin. To him you shall listen. This is exactly what you requested of the Lord your God at Horeb, on the day of the assembly, when you said, Let us not again hear the voice of the Lord our God, nor see this great fire any more, lest we die. And the Lord said to me, This was well said. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their king, and will put my words into his mouth. He shall tell them all that I command him. Whoever will not listen to my words, which he speaks in my name, I myself will make him answer for it. But if a prophet presumes to speak in my name, an oracle that I have not commanded him to speak, or speaks in the name of other gods, he shall die. The word of the Lord.
Second reading. A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 7, verses 32 to 35. Brothers and sisters, I should like you to be free of anxieties. An unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a married man is anxious about the things of the world, how he may please his wife, and he is divided. An unmarried woman or a virgin is anxious about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy in both body and spirit. A married woman, on the other hand, is anxious about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. I am telling you this for your own benefit, not to impose a restraint upon you, but for the sake of propriety and adherence to the Lord without distraction. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Mark. Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit. He cried out, What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. Jesus rebuked him and said, Quiet, come out of him. The unclean spirit convulsed him, and with a loud cry came out of him. All were amazed and asked one another, What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters, and my dear children, we are after the Christmas season, and now we have come to the ordinary season, the ordinary time. And today we read in the Gospel where Jesus entering his hometown, Capernaum, he too enters the synagogue, where with the disciples and also with others, he discusses the points or the scriptures given to them by the law of Moses. Dear brothers and sisters, we find in the Gospel says that Jesus spoke with authority. And when he was questioning the disciples and at the same time the ones who were there, and he was also answering the questions regarding the existence and the power of the divine. And then we find an unclean spirit enters a person who is filled with an unclean spirit. And the unclean spirit was dominating the person. But Jesus, very calmly and with the power of the word that he was preaching the good news to the people, the good news of God's love for the humankind, and he expels the unclean spirit. This is what we read in the gospel. This is what we read in the gospel, dear brothers and sisters, and my dear children. Just see, we too have experienced so many incidents of this nature. When we pray and when we read the gospel and when we try to live the gospel values, even in our family relationships, in our family, or even in the society, or even in the religious life, maybe in politics, or maybe in economic standards, we too face the moments where the devil is trying to overtake us, where the devil is trying to tempt us to various things at various levels. Dear brothers and sisters and my dear children, these are the times that we need to be very attentive and we need to be very careful by our prayer, by our reflection, and at the same time by reading the scriptures, by filling ourselves with the Spirit of God, that we need to expel these powers of the evil that could be within us, dear brothers and sisters. So therefore, dear brothers and sisters, as we say the prayer, Our Father, every day, at every moment when necessary, we read, do not bring us to the test or to the time of trial. Rescue us from evil ones. Pray this prayer always. Though we face the evil ones at every second of our lives, with the power of God and with the power of the Spirit, we can and we have the power to expel the evil ones within us. May the Spirit of God be with you, and God bless you.